Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today we are here with Carly Zoller, who is a inpatient pharmacy technician at King's Dot. You're gonna have to tell me, Carly.
Norton King's Daughters Hospital.
Awesome. Carly, thank you so much for being here. We're really excited to have you. It's so nice to see you again.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Good. So most of our students come from the Excel Center at KLR. You were actually a public student. So how did you hear about KLR and what made you want to take this course?
So my high school has a parent page on Facebook, and my guidance counselor actually is like, I guess found a brochure or something from KLR, and they shared it on the parent page. And I was still like looking what I wanted to do. I was already graduated, so just trying to find something I wanted to do. So I started looking into it, and I was like, this is really interesting. So I obviously, took the class and graduated, and now here I am.
Yes. So which high school was it, Carly?
I went to South Ripley High School, which is in Versailles, Indiana.
So that makes sense. So I'd called them last year and asked if I could send out flyers or brochures, and I'm really happy they actually put them up. That's awesome. So what was your experience with the course? What did you experience during it? What did you like? What did you not like, etc.?
My experience with the course, and obviously you, and just KLR in general, was really good. I was very nervous at first just because I'm like, oh my gosh, like pharmacy, med names and just everything. It's like memorization. But once you're doing that, we have class 3 times a week. So just like doing it constantly, it really like gets engraved in your mind, and it's just like second nature. And you're so open. Like I just felt it was so easy to come and like ask you questions, if I was struggling. And in class you're like picking on people who really aren't kind of answering, just to make sure that they're understanding, and there were no stupid questions. And
yes, no stupid questions.
Really easygoing.
Awesome. That makes me so happy. And you hit it well, because I had no idea that you were nervous. I remember you being really quiet the first couple of weeks, but you killed it. You did a really good job. And we had a lot of fun in that class, I think. So that's exciting. You were over the summer, right? We did the summer course. Yes. So a smaller group also.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So let's get to the more nitty-gritty, more fun stuff. You said where you're working. Go ahead and repeat where you're working and what your title is.
So I currently work at Norton King's Daughters Health in Madison, Indiana, and my title is pharmacy technician, but I'm obviously certified. But
yes. So certified pharmacy technician. And guys, if you're listening, I had never even heard of it. I had no clue this was a hospital. If I would have like seen this name somewhere, I'd have been like, I would have passed it up if I was looking for hospitals, because I would have been like, that does not sound like a hospital. So you learn something new every day. So let's talk about what your position looks like. You've only been there for a little while, and that's totally cool. No worries with that. But I really want to know, and I know the students want to know kind of what it looks like, especially for a new technician, kind of what do your days look like? What are you doing? What are you spending your time doing? How many people do you work with, etc.?
So we actually have 4 different shifts. They're all full-time. But recently I've been working 7:30 to 4. I had to stay a little later today. But that shift, you are coming in, pulling a list for the Pyxis, which is on each floor. Basically a med cart, but it's all
an automated dispensing machine. Very good. Yes.
So I'm coming in, I'm pulling meds from the pharmacy for each section of the hospital. And then that gets checked by a pharmacist to make sure you got the right drugs, dosage, going to the right place, and also pulling controls if they're needed for the certain Pyxis. And that has to be double checked by a pharmacist to make sure you say you're taking 20. Are you really taking 20?
Yes.
So, and then I just go out on the floors and I deliver, and I also will bring back, like, check the expiration dates and stuff like that. And, if it's expired, I bring it back to the pharmacy and properly dispose of it. So that's what I'm doing on that shift. And we also have an employee pharmacy. So it's kind of the front part of our pharmacy, it's kind of like a retail, but we only fill scripts for employees. So that was my first week I was doing that. So,
So they're kind of combined, the retail
yeah,
and the inpatient. That's so cool. I've never
yeah.
seen that before. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So, I obviously, this is my first pharmacy technician job, so I don't know a lot about like retail. So, basically, you're getting on the computer, you're seeing what doctors have sent in scripts for certain people, and you're just, doing math like day supply, how many are you dispensing, SIG codes, and I
Yes.
talked to some people that I work with, and they actually like, they're certified, but they like, I felt so head like knowing the SIG codes. Like I just read the code from the doctor, and I'm just like sitting there just typing it out, and they're like, "How did you like do that so fast?" So I was
That's
like,
awesome. That makes me so
"Yeah,
happy. I'm so proud of you.
yeah." So just filling scripts. That's basically all you do. 9:30 to 5. Somebody will come in. I guess I should say. So every day somebody's coming in at this specific time doing whatever drops. So somebody will come in at 6 and they will make IVs for the morning. So we have it's called the ASU, which is basically like same day surgery. So, or people who are coming for infusions. So they will come in and make those for like 8 o'clock appointments just so they're ready. If things have to sit and dilute. They're getting all that ready. I am still waiting for my test results back for my fingertip testing and my like cross contamination with the bags. I'm still waiting on that. So I haven't actually worked in the IV room yet. But what else do they do? And we also have a separate section in the hospital, which we don't necessarily have a tech down there, but there's 2 pharmacists that will be down there. The cancer center, they will make chemotherapy drips and different things, and
so the pharmacists make them, not the technicians.
They're looking to hire a tech just for the cancer center. I don't know when they will like actually open a position because one of the pharmacists is getting ready to leave. It's a whole situation.
But that's so cool that they're gonna have another position for it. And also, if your pharmacists are making it now, that's really cool. That's not something that I have seen when I worked in a hospital. The technicians definitely did it. So it's so crazy to hear like how things vary from one place to another. Even though it's in the same state, all the laws are the same. Obviously, the pharmacists can do it. It's all about like the environment and what is on the pharmacist's plate and etc. But I think that's really cool that they're doing that. And I also think it's really cool that so it's in a whole different area of the hospital, huh? So like the whole chemo room is like where they make them.
So we have an IV room in the pharmacy, and then down on the first floor, which is also like where the ER is, there's a separate section of the hospital where cancer patients are just coming to that area of the hospital. They have a smaller IV room, and there is one tech, but she kind of rotates back and forth from like she'll work up in the pharmacy as a tech, or she'll just be down in the cancer center just making IVs.
Yeah. So when you started kind of doing your fingertip testing and stuff and thinking about like IV training, did you think of any specific assignment we did in class?
The math.
And do you remember the Emily's Law assignment that you did?
Oh, yes. Now I do. So that video really like got to me. I mean, I obviously like was thinking like, okay, my job like is critical. Like I really have to be watching what I'm doing, even if I'm filling a prescription for something that's not, I'm not gonna say not as important, but
right. But it's, when it's like we talked about in class, when it's going into someone's bloodstream, it's obviously can cause all kinds of problems. And it's just so vital that we're really, really careful. So you are the second person I have asked about that video, and actually today for YouTube. And I'm so glad that, I think I tell you guys in class, that's one of the things, that's the only thing in class that we do that I know isn't going to be on your national exam, but I find so important. And so I put it into our curriculum anyways, because I just think it's so, so important.
Yes.
So are you doing other things like you're answering lots of phones, packaging, anesthesia trays, anything like that?
So we do have a repack machine, which, that's if we cannot get unit dose ordered for specific medications. We do have bulk, which we try to get the unit dose, but if we can't, if something's on back order.
Do you want to explain unit dose?
So unit dose is when we usually use these for the Pyxis when we're filling. It's a lot easier. Pills will come in a pack, usually of 10. Sometimes it's different, but the pills are individually packed. You can order them like that.
Yes. And so guys, if you're listening and you're wondering about this, so pharmacies prefer, inpatient hospital pharmacies specifically prefer to purchase these unit dose packages, because then we don't have to take the time out of the day to repackage them. So if you've taken the class, you're currently taking the class, you know that we talk about medications are repackaged from large to small. They come in a large bottle and we put them in little unit dose packages. But that is really time consuming. So if we don't have to do that and we can purchase it from the manufacturer where it's already in a little package by its little self, then it's just so much easier. And sometimes medications either don't come like that, or sometimes it's way, way more expensive to purchase them like that. And so that is when we don't, and we use the packaging machine like Carly's talking about.
Yes. So sometimes that thing gives me a hard time.
Oh yeah. But yeah. And I know the one that I worked with at the hospital was like 9,000. It looks like it's like 9,000 years old, but it's really not. They just look so weird. I was like, I'll never be able to figure this out. And always changing the stupid wrapper on it. I had to go find, her name is Sharon, and she was a technician for like so many years and so good. She was our evening tech. And I would be like, oh my word, can you please fix this? Because when the little plastic stuff that comes over it to package it comes off, or you run out of it, oh my word, it was like worst day every time.
I have not had to deal with that yet.
Yes. Good luck when you do, because it is not easy. And that was like, maybe it will be easy for you, but my brain does not work like that. Like anything engineering or mechanical or anything like with a machine, I'm like, I can't do it. I need help.
Yeah.
What about phones? Is the phone ringing a lot? Who are you talking to?
The phone rings all day. So most of the time, if a pharmacist doesn't answer it, the first or second ring, a tech will get it. But most of the time it's nurses calling from their pods, asking about because we do take IV bags and we pop like, what I'm trying to say, like a vial, and it's just powder. So we'll pop it on. Yeah. So we will pop it on, and we can like take those and put it in the fridge. And there's this machine that will print out a label after the pharmacist has verified it in Meditech, that they will verify it. It'll print out a label, and we have to double check like whether it's sodium chloride or dextrose or whatever it is. And then to make sure, obviously, that the vial is right. And we don't activate it. We let the nurses activate it. That way, if they don't end up using it, we can bring it back to the pharmacy and use it while it's still good.
Yes. I can't believe how much you've learned in 3 weeks. I'm so proud of you. Way to go, girl. You must have some really good trainers, too. I'm really proud of you. So what things did you learn in class that you feel like you use most often now at work?
So definitely SIG codes. That was really gave me a step up.
I think it's so cool, because I guess I feel like in inpatient, you're not going to use as many SIG codes, but you're getting the best of both worlds. You're doing retail and inpatient all in one. And that is so cool. Like, what an experience.
Yeah. So definitely SIG codes. What else? And again, like the math, like trying to figure out day supply, since I do have kind of like retail and, hospital, trying to think.
And you'll see some of that in the IV room. When you get into the IV room, they're really training in there too. You'll see some of that.
Yeah. So, and generic and brand name, I use that definitely when I'm pulling meds for the I don't remember like what the actual term is for a Pyxis.
It is called a Pyxis. So there are the two most widely used ones that I know of for automated dispensing machines are Pyxis and Omnicell. I worked both. I worked with Pyxis for like 3 weeks when I first started as a technician in the hospital, and then we switched over to Omnicell like as I was joining. And I loved Omnicell. So it was like my big thing. I was an Omnicell technician also. So I dealt with all like if they broke or filling them or making sure they were organized, etc. I know that Pyxis runs a lot differently. And I don't know a lot about Pyxis, but what you're talking about is filling the Pyxis.
Yes. So, making sure that the meds are right to, sometimes maybe a unit dose will have like the generic name and the Pyxis still has the brand name in there. So just like double checking that
And knowing
it is.
and yeah, that saves you a lot of time if you know what they are. And
Yeah.
I feel like we were just talking about this in our last interview too. I feel like when you finally get into the workplace, it's a little different than in class. Like you're seeing those consistently, and eventually they're going to click because you're working with them all the time. You're like,
Yeah.
I know what that one is. So I think that's great. I think hands-on experience is always like an easier way
Yes.
to learn. And that's awesome. What advice, Carly, would you give to students taking this course and heading into the pharmacy field? You're special because you were a public student coming directly out of high school and took this course. What advice would you give to new students and then anyone new in their field like you are right now?
So definitely don't be afraid to ask questions because there really is no stupid question. And, if you're getting ready to take this course or you're currently in this course, somebody may have the same question as you. So, go ahead and ask it. Katie is very welcoming. She will gladly answer your question. And, if you don't understand something, that's why she's here to help you. And if you are new to, like, you're a new pharmacy tech just like me, still don't be scared to ask questions. I know I am very thankful that the techs that I do work with are so helpful. And, any question I have, like where to find something, like, am I doing this right? They're always helpful.
That is such a game changer too. Like when they're encouraging and welcoming and understanding that you're new, that's such a game changer. I love that and love to hear that you're working in that kind of environment. That's great. That's really awesome. Carly, thank you so much for being here with us today. We really appreciate it. I know that it's so great to have you on because you are so new in your position, which clearly you are learning rapidly. I'm so proud of you. But I think it'll be really great for students to hear kind of how your experience is going as a technician, especially so early into it. So it's really awesome. It sounds like you're loving it. And make sure that you stay in touch and keep me updated on your progress. I'm so proud of you. And thank you for taking the time out of your day to do this today.
Thank you so much for having me.